Where is your edge, your animosity, your angst, if you will, as a sports fan? Do you need the Niners to win first? Is that the team you need to win? Do you need Steph and Clay and Dre to win a fifth, to have one more than LeBron, to tie Tim Duncan and those Spurs? Who do you want to see win one the most right now? 888-957-9570. We're going to go out to the lines in a second. Alan, if you were to take the temperature of Warrior fans, who do you think they want, or Giants fans, Niner fans, a Bay Area sports fan, who do you think they want to win the most right now? Because that's the team that puts them on edge.
Yeah, I think it's a split because the easy answer is the Niners because the Niners haven't done it in so long. But I would say that you could argue that the Niners window is bigger than the Warriors in terms of the dynasty that we've seen from the Warriors, right? We don't know what's going on with Clay and Draymond. So I think the easy answer is the Niners because it's been so long. But if this could be it with the Warriors, and there's a chance that it is, hey, get one more, put Steph over the top, get him to 5, get him with Kobe and everybody else that has 5, and now you guys just ride off into the sunset. But the answer that we're going to hear the most is obviously the Niners.
I think so too. Like, if I told the Warrior fan today, okay, Steph's not going to win another one, Clay's not going to win another one, Dre's not going to win another one here, right? Here. We would be disappointed, but we would still feel very fulfilled.
Yes, it's been a good run.
Exactly. Like Joe Montana. Oh, he didn't get that 5th one. He didn't get that 5th. We look back and there's like the woulda, coulda, shoulda. If he didn't get knocked out of the 1990 NFC Championship game, if Steve didn't get his job and become the MVP of the league, maybe he gets one more. But we feel very fulfilled with Joe Montana.
Yes, not a lot of complaints.
Buster Posey. I was pissed off that they never gave him a true bopper behind or in front of him, right? But we look back on his career, and he won the 3 championships, never went to the playoffs in back-to-back years. We feel pretty fulfilled.
Yes, Rookie of the Year, MVP, yes.
The one that leaves me the most unsatisfied and unfulfilled is looking back at the Harbaugh era, where they didn't get one. Looking back at what Kyle Shanahan's done recently, which I don't fault him. It's hard to win championships, but not winning one. That's the one that gives me the most angst right now, and it's not even close.
Yeah, because the landscape can change so quickly.
Yes.
Right? The Niners are in a good spot right now. It looks like it's just the Niners and Eagles. But last year, you weren't even counting the Eagles. So who knows who could pop up? Who knows who gets a quarterback who puts him over the top? Who knows who gets injured? So I think every single year that Kyle Shanahan is going into the playoffs, and I know quote unquote healthy is a term here, but going into the playoffs somewhat healthy and you don't get it done, it's just another year gone, and we have no clue what's going to happen in the next season.
No idea. Absolutely no idea. We don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow with Brock's surgery. All right, let's go out to Brian and step right up. No waiting. Xfinity Mobile text line. It's also your text line. A lot of people are texting in. I've done a poor job of reading them, so I'm going to try to get better at that. 888-957-9570. Which team puts you on edge the most because you want them to win now? Brian and SF, what do you got?
So me personally, I'm a young fan. I was born in '97, so I've seen the Warriors win. I saw them go from the We Believe team to, what they are now. I've seen the Giants go from, a pretty bad team to, winning those things. To me personally, because it hasn't happened in my me living, would be the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. It's, we saw it in the Harbaugh era. We were, and then with the Shanahan, it just hurts. I just want the Niners to win the one ring, and I would be okay with it. Just that one ring, and that's all for me.
Wow, just that one, and you'd be super satisfied. I look back as we celebrate Patrick Willis right now, and good call, Brian. 888-957-9570. Which team puts you on edge the most that you want to see win? Rodon's basically calling Bay Area fans not passionate in comparison to New York fans. I'm like, nah, I think Niner fans are way more passionate than New York Giants fans. I'm sorry. Like, that's the way I view it. And you can say to me, oh, we love our Yankees. Giants fans love their team as much as Yankee fans do. There may not be as many.
There's different love languages, okay?
Exactly.
The Yankees, their love language is to boo.
Yeah, and
the
Knicks
Giants,
fans?
Yeah, the Giants' love language is to just stay home.
Yeah, well, and Knicks fans, like, you ask me how that fan base feels about that ownership.
Right. But I guess
it's the Mecca.
They still show up, I guess. I don't know.
Well, again, we still showed up when the team stunk.
Yeah.
Oracle was always packed in Oakland Arena. All right, let's go out to Oreo Cookie, 888-957-9570. Which team puts you on edge the most because you want them to win a championship? What you got, Oreo?
What up, Shafty? Man, hey, I love the passion, man. I love both of you guys, man. You guys are doing great, but How come we don't get no respect over there on the East Bay, man? If the Oakland A's win, how does not everybody back them up? We have to be hardcore just to be an A's fan.
It's true.
These guys are halfway out the door. I don't understand why we're already kicking them out.
Well, I mean, Oreo, I did shows with the voice of the Oakland A's for a long, long time. Spadoni used to run those boards back in the day. I mean, the same two people calling all the time. There's just not enough of them not because of the fans, because of the owner. Because of the owner. Look, let me tell you this. I do this for a living. I come in, and it's we're so blessed. We're so lucky. Why would I not want another topic to talk about? Why would I not want another team that my audience was craving to talk about? You think I want to jam? Is this it for Steph, Clay, and Dre down your throat every day? But that's what you want to talk about. I would love to come in here and go, hey, man, did you see Tiger Woods at the Genesis Open? Because that intrigues me, but I know it doesn't intrigue my audience. I sell what you want to buy. And right now, nobody wants to buy Oakland A's talk. So that's why we don't talk about them.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where I don't know if it's a chicken or egg thing, but you don't hear about them, so you stop listening, and then you stop listening, so you don't hear about them. I know that I've heard just in general when it comes to the A's talk. I think that A's fans, they just got a rough go. Can we just put it out there?
No, they're the most screwed over fan bases in sports.
Exactly, and part of that, a lot of that is because of the ownership. So I get why a A's fan would say, well, why can't we hear more about the A's more? But at the same time, you just have to understand that the group of the A's fans and A's fandom it's turning more niche than it has in the past simply because of everything that we just stated. And that's not your fault. But unfortunately, you are now the collateral damage because it trickles everywhere. If nobody cares anymore from the owner on down, we can't sit here and talk logistics about the ballpark. That just doesn't move.
Well, and Hallen, if you're just looking at this from a business standpoint of trying to gain market share, boy, if they would have just figured out this stadium thing right now while the Giants are in flux, how much pressure would they be putting on them? You'd see the fan base flip in a heartbeat if they had a better stadium or comparable stadium with a better roster.
Yeah.
We already know they could build a roster better. Spadoni's ready to jump in.
Well, I completely agree because there's a notion out here that you can't have two baseball teams in this market, that it wouldn't work. On the flip side, if you had a guy like Joe Lacob own the A's, you don't think that they could compete in this market with the Giants? You don't think that he would be able to build a stadium on the other side and bring in some of these high-priced free agents and overpay? You don't think that he could be a Steve Cohen on the West Coast here? Because that's what he is with the Warriors, right?
Well, this is what I would say to you, Spadoni. I'm one of the people that does not think two teams can fit in this market in the modern day because of, hey, I'm from Chicago. I can still watch all my Cubs games. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my dad, Covey. My dad grew up a Cubs fan and a Bears fan. I could still follow my teams because of the way streaming is now. I don't need to be converted into a fan. I don't think there are enough passionate fans to carry both fan bases simultaneously. One will be the dominant and one will be the lesser. That's the way I would phrase it.
They will always be that way because that'll be the same with the Cubs and the White Sox. Like, that would be the comp, right?
Exactly.
The Cubs will always get more of the shine than the White Sox will. White Sox will still get some love because they got guys like a Tim Anderson or whoever. But to flip that, I think there can be a good product on the East Bay, but they just need someone that cares. And right now, they don't have an owner that cares, and the fans aren't going to care if the ownership's not going to care. And that's just unfortunate right now. That's just what it comes down to.
You're right.
Yeah, and I do think it's a little bit different because different to the other situations that we've thought about, whether it's Cubs, White Sox, Jets, Giants, Rams, Chargers now. Yeah. It is different because all of them do.
Angels, Dodgers.
Angels, Dodgers. Angels, Dodgers is actually more similar because they don't carry the same name. Actually, do they carry? Are they Anaheim?
They're Los Angeles now. They're
back to Los Angeles.
Yeah, they're the Los Angeles Angels.
Was it a lot? But at one point, it was the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
So they were the California Angels originally.
Little League back in the day. That's when I had the California Angels. But it is A's, Giants. They're not both San Francisco. They are in two separate cities, which I think
Yeah.
makes it more interesting and adds to the rivalry.
So is the Mets, and because technically the boroughs are separate cities. I know we all view New York as one like chunky area.
I'm just saying based on name, like literal
Gotcha,
name.
gotcha.
They are both the
Gotcha.
New York team. They are both,
Yeah.
the LA teams. They're not in this situation. So I do think that they can both exist. And how great would it be? Look, we're still packing out Battle of the Bay. We still pack those out. It's just you look at what the A's are doing on a larger scale, and it just doesn't move enough people.
And the Giants too, though. Like, Alan, if I were to say right now, A's Giants fans, put together a fantasy lineup of both 25-man rosters.
Mm-hmm.
That team is boring as hell. I don't care if you both teams. I let you combine both teams and put together the best 9-man lineup, and you're going to put to sleep everyone in baseball. Meanwhile, my nephew's like, yeah, have you seen what San Diego has? Machado, Soto, Tatis Jr., Cronenworth. Like, they've got, and I know most people Cronenworth, but like, they've got sex appeal.
Cronenworth would probably bat 3 or 4 on this
He's the
team.
Giants' best player. He was backup rookie
player.
of the year or whatever, runner-up rookie of the year. Like, he's a stud.
Yeah, but that goes back to my point about the Giants and the fact that they had this success back in the 2012, 2010, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
They had that success, and that's what we're still holding on to. The A's don't have that, so there's nothing to hold on to. But I do think in a couple more years, if the Giants don't turn it around, I don't think they would be in A's territory, but I do think they would continue to slip down the scale, and I don't even know where else there is to slip. The only reason that there are still, I think, the same amount of calls, when we talk about how people care about the Giants versus care about the A's and the interaction that you got with Covey, the interaction what we get, is because they're still hanging on. What's the first thing you see when you walk into Oracle Park? The 3 trophies. We're still doing it. We still got this. We're still doing the way.
People are
we're
mad
still
that Brandon Belt's
living
on the
a
Toronto
prayer.
Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, why? It ran its course. But that's your point. Like, we're still selling you nostalgia.
They're still selling the nostalgia, and at some point, it's going to run dry. And I'm not saying the situation will be like the A's, but the longer you get in terms of the further away you get from your success, the less people will care. And I think that, like you said earlier, there will always be a coalition of hardcore Giants fans, but you're going to get older, and your kids are going to have no connection to the Giants, and their kids are going to have no connection to the Giants. You have to be good at some point, or you have to have, if you're not good, a la Cleveland Browns fan, that there has to be something that just connects you, and football is just different, like we've said, because it's king.
So unique.
So just looking at the Giants, they're in dangerous territory because baseball as a whole, your fans are getting older. And if you're not connecting to the younger fan bases, they're not going to seek you out unless they're good. And that's why the whole fair weather fan thing, I don't care. I don't care if you're a fair weather fan.
But every fan base is.
Exactly.
Like,
I do
where
not
were
care.
Atlanta Braves fans 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Where were they? I'm asking. This is TBS, America's team in baseball. Where were they? And now they have one of the most exciting teams in baseball. They couldn't get people to go to their stadium, which was brand new, so they built a new one.
Keep building.
Am I wrong? Spadoni's shaking his head.
Makes me sick, and they take our players.
I mean, like, again, like the Atlanta Braves, which is a sexy team heading into this year, no one cares about them. Like, I know we think, I do, I probably care more than most Atlanta fans do about that team, but like 4 years ago, no one cared. These things are very cyclical. They're very cyclical.
I just do not have a problem. There is too much going on in life for me to have a problem with a fan not wanting to pay attention to a team that stinks. Life is hard enough. You don't need to spend your time cheering for teams that stink. If you want to check in when the team is good, I have no problem with that.